Welcome to the Two Guys Garage.
Yeah, today we've got our Federated Sweet Ride Corvette giveaway project back in, formerly owned by
NASCAR driver Kenny Schrader, soon to be given away to one lucky winner.
Right, now he didn't do all his maintenance, but we are. And today is all about adding performance.
Brakes, exhaust, induction.
Now to catch you up, we've got Kenny Schrader's 2004 Corvette. Now we've done a lot of maintenance on this thing already.
We really have.
Oh, yeah.
Coils, coil pack, plug wires, we flushed the tranny.
Yep, we got some new Moog suspension parts, some KYB shocks.
Yeah.
So we've really gone through, the misfire on the engine's gone. It's starting to run good, it's starting to drive pretty well. So we're starting to look at some of the performance, options for in the powertrain, make a little bit more power out of it. Now an engine's gonna breathe, through the throttle body, and you guys know it's all about getting air in. Well, once that throttle opens, all you have is, some vacuum or suction from the piston, and the only way for the air to get in is by atmospheric air making that push. Well, anything that's restricting between, obviously the atmosphere and that cylinder is gonna slow you down and rob you of power. So one place we can look for really easy performance is in this induction system.
And we'll pull out the old, ooh, there we go. I think
So-
Kenny must have had this thing on the dirt track.
No doubt. So, the first place to look is just your filter to see if it's dirty. Now that's obviously gonna slow you down. You can imagine something like that, trying to breathe through this dirty filter. So you can replace it with a new one, and it's there obviously to keep the dirt from out of your engine. All this dirt and debris will get sucked through, it can scratch cylinders, it's just bad for wear. But we can do more than just put a stock filter on it if we want to gain a few horsepower. So our kit we've got from K&N, add about 10-11 horsepower, which is a nice, simple, easy way to replace your filter.
Much better, nice and clean. K&N has a lifetime filter, so you can always wash it, reuse it. High flow, so you're gonna get a lot more flow in with this. And on a Corvette like this, you should see about a 10 horse gain.
Yeah, it's all about surface area. So the more surface area, the easier it is to breathe through. And the design of the filter. A lot of guys know, this is an oil-based system. It has a larger pore size than the paper filter, but the oiling helps catch those dirt and debris, but lets the air go through. And as Brian said, you can wash it, reuse it pretty much forever. All right, now it's a quick mock-up. The top of the filter mounts with a bracket right on the original bosses here. Get everything lined up. Now we're gonna take a quick little draw a line here, about a 1/2 inch clearance above, about a 1/2 inch clearance on the sides. And we can remove this. We're gonna make a nice clean cut in this little plastic shroud, offset it a little bit to give more room for this bigger filter to let in more air.
Now to make room, we want to go ahead and cut ourselves a little hole. So we drilled corner spots that allowed us to stick the blade down in, and then just cut straight on each side after we marked out a square. So now we'll put our brackets in, two screws in with our nylon nuts, piece of cake. It's pretty wild on the vet, how angled the radiator is. Okay, got the last little band clamps tightened up, got it straight, looking good.
All right.
Let's go ahead and plug in the MAF sensor plug.
Okay,
That was
you got your
easy.
PCV line hooked up.
Yeah.
So I think all we got left to do, besides admire the cool carbon fiber finish, is put our carb sticker on. So we're 50 state legal.
Very nice.
California Air Resource Board.
Cool. Chop chop, 10 horse in the back. That was easy. Right now we gotta take a break, coming back with some exhaust.
Hey, welcome back. Now we got the front end taken care of. Time for the back. Get some of these exhaust gases flowing a lot faster. Now we got a couple reasons for it. One, well, both of these muffler brackets are pretty much rotted out. We could try to repair them. These tips look pretty sad. So why don't we go ahead and fix all that with a new kit and try to pick up a little bit of performance and sound quality. So let's get rid of all this stuff. We got this big box here from Federated. It's a MagnaFlow kit. Now let's see if we can open it up, see if we need any kind of specialty tools before we start the job. And apparently our kit comes with a fuller.
Yes,
and
comes
a
with
few other specialty tools.
Two Guys Garage Technician, a Sawzall, and only a couple other things you're gonna need. Tape measure.
Tape measure. All right.
And
Get this out of the
a
way.
marking device.
Marking device. Now, this is a catback system, and what we're going to do is cut off the old pipes and slip on the new ones.
Ow, got my hand wet.
Ow.
Now to measure, I'm gonna go from the forward side of the flange.
Okay, 38.5 is a swoop-de-doo.
Okay. Same one.
And 37.75 is another swoop-de-doo.
All right.
Ready
there you
to
go.
cut.
Back off. Watch out.
right,
Don't
all
hurt
right.
yourself. Put on your safety glasses.
Call an ambulance.
Get your earplugs.
All right, now your kit might not come with its own installation technician, but a quick tip for you. Sawzall can make quick work of getting the old exhaust out, especially if you don't have to get those rusty bolts loose. Now we also did, you can see it shorten our blade up, so it's not too long and stabbing the bottom of the car when we're making those cuts.
Tip is, cut your tip. All right. Now look at this beautiful 2.5-inch stainless MagnaFlow. It's all polished in the back, which is gorgeous. We're gonna go ahead and install the X pipe, and obviously blending these two, the left and the right bank, it's gonna control your pulses, give it a lot better flow, and really make this thing sound rocking.
All right, so if you slide that end in,
There we go.
and slip those band clamps up, then I've got the factory bolts for the center here. And let's see, those have two cool looking kind of spring hangers, so it'll isolate and give the exhaust a little bit of room to float around. So if I can get this guy started and thread it up, it'll leave it hanging. We can start leaving it loose for now and bolt the rest of the system up.
Just about finished. I reinstalled the sway bar, which is easy. A little bolt on the top, nut on the bottom, torque it up, and then Bird's gonna show you the one finishing piece.
Yeah, we got a little tie together plate here that keeps both sides stable and looks sharp. So now that we've got everything wiggled and tight, this guy can go on.
That's
But
gorgeous, isn't it?
we're gonna take a break, so you guys stick around. When we come back, lots of stopping power. One left. Okay, now back to that stopping power we teased you with before the break. We've got a full brake for each corner set up from Federated. Now I'm gonna do a no-no, and that's dangle the caliper from the hose. Now why is because we're gonna replace the hose, the caliper, the pads, and the rotors. Now, the reason you don't wanna dangle that from the hose, this is a quality hose from Wagner. Now inside here is a liner, and that's holding a lot of that pressure. Now this is sort of an outer casing, it's part of the construction, but it's not holding all that pressure by itself. And just because the outside looks good, if you pull on it, you could tear the inside and have some big brake problems. So we're gonna put a new hose on, along with calipers. We'll leave that guy dangling there. Now this is the other side. It's a really nice piece. Twin piston, really lightweight, aluminum construction. Let's look inside. A lot of times we just see the outside of a caliper, but we don't know how it works. So I'm gonna put some pads back in here. I'll slide a rag in, and I've drained it first. So let's get some shop air, and there we go. All right, a little bit more. Pow! That's right. Okay, so we got one of these out. Now, first thing you'll see here, we got a piston and a dust seal. Now this guy, pretty much just to keep dirt and grit from scoring the side of this piston. Now if you look, just a little teacup, boop, boop. Nothing really special in there. Obviously there's some, performance there on the surface, the finishes, anti-corrosion. But if we look inside, it's just a round bore. So it's just fluid pressure pushing on a round piston with a seal on it. But the seal is really what's critical. Let's see if we can get one of these guys out of here. There we go. Okay, voila. Again, nothing magical, but actually there is some detail in here. Now this piston has a seal sitting on here. This is a square cut seal. Now, when you put pressure on here, it actually folds that seal back, you know, against the bore of this caliper. And that folding back, when you let go of your pedal, pulls the piston back in. So it's actually retracting or allowing the pad to come away from that rotor. If that seal starts to get fatigued, that pad's just going to ride on that rotor and wear out your pads prematurely. So a lot of you guys have done a brake job. You've looked, you haven't seen any leaking on your seal, and you thought, okay, caliper's good, put on a new rotor, put on a new pad. And then your pad wears out prematurely, and you think, maybe I got a cheap pad. A lot of times it might be internal in the caliper. So we're going to replace ours. Let me go and start pulling off some of this other stuff. Might need to grab a hammer, knock this rotor off. I can start to build. All right, our old rotor and our new Wagner rotor. Now, some of the things to look for when you're buying a new rotor is a lot of companies can try to save some money and they'll thin out the material. They might actually leave out some of these vanes or space them farther apart, so you can kind of compare the two and make sure that you've got the same mass, because that mass is what's absorbing that heat on a brake. So if you start thinning it out, you can start cracking, warping a whole lot more premature. So there's a couple other features, surface finish, you know, run out on the machining. Those are all quality things to look for in a rotor. And this one, unfortunately, is curved forward. And you might think it's scooping the air as it goes around, but it's really want to be trailing. So this rotor is actually from the other side. Somebody put it on backwards. You're really pulling air in from the inside. The blades sweep backwards. The air flies out to keep the rotor cool. Something you want to look for when you put your rotors on. Now, let me get this cleaned up. I can start rebuilding even further. Federated carries UCX calipers. It's a quality reman right to factory specs. But what we did, we went through XRC. It's the same caliper, but online you get to pick out all these different colors, so they're powder coated, they look sharp, a lot better than the old dingy dirty ones. Now you can get them loaded and unloaded. Now we got ours loaded. So it's already got the pad in them, it's already pre-lubed, and we've got the Federated SST pad. It's all the technology from Wagner baked right in. Now these are a ceramic. Ceramic have a great smooth linear coefficient of friction. They also don't make all that brake dust, you know, all over your wheels. So it's a really nice pad to start with. Some of the features you want to look for in a pad: good quality backing plate, nice fit, so they slide real well within the caliper itself. These have a damped layer on the back, a damped shim, so it quiets down a lot of that noise, as well as the chamfers in the slots. So some of the things to look for. Now what I did, I went ahead and assembled my hose. It's all nice and tight, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it up here on my rotor, and I'll slide a couple of bolts in. So all I've got to do is break my old line, pop this new guy on real quick so I don't make a big mess. So let me get these guys run in here, swap my hose. Got a 96 Taurus, an old Sable. You're starting to get a little shimmy, a little bit of looseness in there. Obviously, you got to start looking at your suspension. Now, we typically check for ball joints, you know, with the top and bottom. But on those cars, it's good to get a 3 and 9 and really get in there and look for motion. A lot of times you'll see these ball joints wearing out. Now, they get corroded in there. It's two dissimilar metals, steel and aluminum. It'll corrode and it'll be really tough to get out. Now, Moog makes a lot of specialty tools to get up in those tight spaces to get the ball joint out and in, so you don't do damage to that aluminum knuckle. Now when you put a new ball joint in, this is a nice one from Moog as well, it's got a zinc plating on it so it won't corrode. And once you get that guy in there, don't forget your cotter pin and your little snap ring.
This tip is brought to you by Moog Chassis and the fine folks at Federated.
Nice job on the brakes, Big Daddy.
All right, man, it's all about teamwork, brother.
Very nice. Now to finish it off, we've got our new tires and wheels, Yokohama 245/45/17 Z-rated.
Sure beat these old cup tires.
Get those
Out
those
with
out
the
of here.
old, in with the new.
Yeah, if you look at the wheels, these are ZR1 inspired. Look really cool. These are from Mid-America Motor Works. And they're 17-inch, 3-piece design, gloss black with the cool fasteners around them. Those are pretty awesome.
Let's get them mounted. So we officially have wheels, we got tires, we got brakes, we got the suspension upgraded. You saw we got some air induction, we got more performance, more exhaust. We're going through this car top to bottom, front to back. I hope you guys are enjoying the journey. We've been having some fun.
It's almost time for the Federated winner to take this baby and have it for his own.
Yeah.
But for now, we got one last mission today, I think, which is to clean those wheel wells. Those things
You know
look
what?
just disgusting.
I'm gonna take a break. I'll let you get on those. We're out of time. We'll see you guys next time.